Let's get one thing clear. When a woman starts pulling away, most men panic. They begin chasing even harder, texting constantly, over-explaining, begging for answers, doing everything they think will fix the situation. But here's the raw truth. The worst move you can make when she pulls back is reacting emotionally. That's what destroys whatever attraction might still be there. You've got to understand something powerful about dating today. Interest is never guaranteed. A woman can be all in today and emotionally distant by tomorrow. It doesn't always mean you messed up. Sometimes it's just her way of testing, getting bored, or looking for attention. But your response to that change in energy? That's what makes all the difference. It's what separates the average guy from the one who commands respect and reignites her desire. This isn't about playing games. This is about mastering masculine self-control, emotional stability, and holding a high-value frame. Because if you react like the rest, needy, desperate, and confused, she'll never view you as a man worth chasing again. But when you move correctly, or better yet, avoid the wrong moves, you instantly shift the power dynamic back in your favor. In this video, I'll show you the 5 critical mistakes men make when a woman starts losing interest, and 2 powerful moves that flip the script and pull her back in. No fluff, no theory, just grounded truth from real-world behavior. If you want to become the kind of man who doesn't just react to her disinterest but uses it as leverage to reclaim control, this is for you. Let's dive in. Section 1. Stop chasing harder. The most common reaction men have when she pulls away is to chase harder. More calls, longer texts, extra effort. They try to be sweet, funny, romantic, even desperate. But here's the reality. Chasing harder when she's losing interest only proves her growing suspicion that you need her more than she needs you. And in today's dating world, that's a death sentence for attraction. When you chase more, you erase all mystery. You give her the emotional high ground. She sees your attention as guaranteed, and women instinctively devalue what's always available. What you think is showing care, she feels as pressure. Instead of drawing her back, you push her further. She learns that distancing herself earns more of your effort, and that dynamic flips into feminine energy. You've lost polarity. You've lost control. The right move is the opposite. You need to slow down. Mirror her distance, not as punishment, but as protection of your own value. That's what makes you scarce, calm, unpredictable. And that's what makes her curious again. Real masculine energy doesn't chase validation. It allows her to feel your absence, because it's in that silence, that space, where she starts to reflect, remember, and reevaluate. But none of that can happen if you're flooding her inbox or showing up uninvited. A high-value man never chases harder. He steps back. He holds the line. He understands that desire can't be forced, but it can be reignited through presence and space. Section 2. Never beg for reassurance. When her interest fades, most men feel deeply uncomfortable. So what do? They start asking for reassurance. Is everything okay? Did I do something wrong? Do you still care about me? These questions sound innocent, but they come from weakness. And women don't hear your words. They feel your energy. When you ask for emotional clarity while she's pulling away, it only makes her feel more powerful and less attracted. Women are drawn to grounded men who remain composed even when things feel uncertain. That's what gives them emotional safety and intrigue. The moment you start asking her to fix your feelings, you're signaling dependency, not strength. Understand this. Attraction isn't built on pity or validation. It's built on respect. And nothing earns respect like a man who stays calm, doesn't beg for answers, and maintains emotional composure. So when you feel the urge to ask her what's wrong, stop. Ask yourself, am I seeking understanding, or am I trying to fix my own emotional discomfort? Because the man who reclaims her interest isn't the one asking questions. He's the one who stays centered in his frame. Section 3. Don't bring up the past. When she pulls away, many men try to reconnect by bringing up old memories. Remember how happy we were? You said I made you feel safe. What changed? It comes from a place of hope. But it's a mistake. Because if her current emotions are pulling away, she's not thinking about last month. She's living in the now. Bringing up the past makes you look stuck, emotionally disconnected from reality. It creates pressure instead of passion. She doesn't hear, "he cares." She hears, "he doesn't get it." And in modern dating, emotional forward energy is what keeps you attractive, not emotional nostalgia. Instead of clinging to what was, you must show her that you're still growing, still rising, and still emotionally grounded. Let her be the one to remember. You stay rooted in the present, and that presence becomes magnetic. Section 4. Never compete with other men. If she starts talking about other guys, posting suggestive photos, or signaling interest elsewhere, don't fall into the trap of comparison. Most men try to compete, show they're better, outshine the others. But the second you compete, you lose. You shift from being the prize to being the pursuer. High-value men don't compete for a woman's attention. They command it by staying centered. Women will test you. Consciously or not, they want to see how grounded you are. If you react with jealousy, you expose insecurity. But if you stay calm, unshaken, unmoved, that's strength. That's presence. Never fight for a place that you've already earned through value, because the man who doesn't flinch, he's the one she rethinks walking away from. Section 5. Stop explaining yourself. When she starts pulling back, most men start explaining. Their actions, their words, their love. They over-communicate, trying to win her understanding. But explaining too much doesn't create connection. It kills mystery. When you explain too much, what you're really saying is, "You don't see my worth. Let me convince you." And that, right there, is unattractive. The man who stands out isn't the one who defends himself. It's the one who speaks with calm clarity once, and then lets silence speak for him. If she respects that, she leans in. If not, he doesn't chase. He just moves forward. Always forward. Section 6. Don't try to fix her feelings. One of the biggest mistakes men make is trying to fix how she feels. You sense she's cold, so you go into repair mode, asking what you can do, trying to cheer her up, offering solutions. But you're not her therapist. And emotional discomfort isn't something you're supposed to solve. When you try to fix her feelings, you're showing that you can't handle emotional tension. And that's not strength, it's insecurity. Real masculine presence doesn't fix, it holds space, it stays grounded in the discomfort. That calmness is what makes her feel safe, and what makes her want to lean back in. She doesn't need a rescuer. She needs to feel the weight of your unshakable calm. That's leadership. That's attraction. Section 7. Shift the focus back to you. Eventually, when the emotional fog clears, you have a decision to make. Keep spiraling, over-explaining, chasing, or pause. Breathe. Reclaim your focus. Your energy is your currency. Don't spend it on someone who isn't matching it. Instead, reinvest in yourself, in your mission, your health, your goals. This isn't about distracting yourself. It's about leveling up. Because when you shift your attention inward, two things happen. First, you regain control. Second, you trigger curiosity. She begins to wonder where your energy went. That silence becomes loud. That absence creates pull. And even if she never comes back, you still win. Because you didn't lose yourself chasing someone who wasn't sure about you. That's what sets a grounded man apart. Masculine energy leads. It doesn't follow. It doesn't orbit. It stays on course. And when she senses that, not hears it, but feels it, her respect returns. Maybe even her attraction. But if not, it doesn't matter. You stayed solid. You stayed whole. And that, brother, is the real win. If this message hit home, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Share this with a man who needs to hear it. And remember, when you hold your frame, stay grounded and lead with quiet strength. Everything changes. This is a thought sphere. Thanks for watching.